What's up guys, welcome back to the Run with Jay channel. So in today's video we're going to be talking about 9 tips on how to run in the summer and how to be safe while running in the heat. So as for most of the people in the world, summer is here, so we all want to be safe. Some of these tips might be self-explanatory or pretty obvious, but I think it's still important to highlight these for people that are new into running to make sure that they're safe and that they enjoy the sport. So if you guys are new to this channel, welcome. Please hit that like and subscribe button as well as the bell for notifications, and let's get started. So tip number 1 is pretty obvious, and that is to hydrate and hydrate. Not just drinking water, but drinking, running fluids like Gatorade, other, fluids just for running like Noon or Martin. There's tons of brands that help, with hydration, and they come in like pouches. You mix it up with water, and they're going to help you get you through your run and keep you hydrated longer while running. But before even running, you want to make sure you hydrate hours, even the day before, to make sure that when you wake up, if you're doing an early run, that you're not dehydrated. And also I have this little neat running water pack that I sometimes carry with me, which is very convenient. It fits just like in the grip of your palms. And it carries a good amount of water as well as like a little pocket to put your items in. This thing's called a Nathan Quick Shot Plus water bottle, so I'll put the link down below. But this is also a good idea, to carry with you through your runs. It's small, so it's not distracting while you're running. So if you can't find a place when you're out running that has water, that might be a good idea to have with you. So always hydrate before, after, the day before, and during a run if you can. So in the sun, when it's super hot, you're losing tons of fluids, so you need to make sure you're putting some of that those fluids back in your body so you don't get sick and start passing out. So tip number 2 is to start slow. So when you're running in like normal, like cool temperature, it's very different than running in the summer heat when it's like anything above like 70 or 80. Your body will take a while to get adjusted to the paces. So if you start off guns blazing, you're gonna get tired quicker. You're gonna get dehydrated. You might start getting dizzy while you're running. So you want to make sure when you're starting off, maybe on your first mile or like your warm-up, that you're starting slow, because your body is a little reacts differently in the heat compared to maybe your cooler temperature. So you don't want to be gassed too early when you're going out for a run. So when you're going out for a run, when it's super hot outside, just take it easy, start out slow, and then slowly ease into your the pace that you're looking into, so your body gets time to get adjusted to the heat, as well as so you don't get exhausted too quickly, and that'll keep you out and ruin your run pretty fast if that's the case. So tip number 3 is choosing the right time of day to run. The sun's going to be out full force between around 12 to 5 p.m. So you want to maybe run early in the morning, or late in the afternoon when the sun's about to head down and the temperature maybe drops a little bit. It makes a huge difference while you're running early morning or late afternoon compared to running full right in the middle of the day when the sun is out. You get tired quicker, your body doesn't like it. I've been through all of this lately while running in the summer. You just get tired, and the sun just saps your energy. And if you've ever sat in the beach for a while, you just, after you get tanning or being in the sun, you just feel so exhausted and tired at the end of the day, even if you didn't do anything. That's because the sun zaps your energy and makes you tired quicker. So it'll definitely affect your run if you're running midday. So pick like early in the morning or late afternoon when the sun is not out full force to get the most out of your run. So tip number 4 is to wear light colored clothing, and the reason behind that is light colored clothing reflects sunlight, while darker colored clothes absorbs the heat. So if you've ever worn a black t-shirt out in the sun, you know how hot it can get even though you're wearing just a t-shirt. So always wear light colored clothing and try to minimize your clothing as possible. Wear as little as as acceptable, I guess, in your area. I see guys sometimes run with shirtless as well because it's just too hot. So make sure you're wearing appropriate clothing, light colors, and minimize all your gear as possible. So tip number 5 along with gear is to make sure you're wearing sunscreen. A lot of people skip over this because it's an extra step, it's a hassle to grab it, or you just don't even carry it because maybe you don't go to the beach or you don't go out much. But it's great to have. For younger people, they may not notice the harmful effects of having full-blown sun rays shining on your skin all the time. But as you get older and you age, you can definitely see differences for people that are always out in the sun. Those rays can are said to have be able to cause skin cancer later in life. So you always want to protect your exposed skin by just putting a little sunscreen like SPF 15 or above on your face or on your exposed arms and legs, just to make sure you're protected. It's just an extra layer of protection that keep your skin safe and healthy for as long as possible while you're enjoying your sport. So don't forget your sunscreen when it's blazing hot outside. So tip number 6 is to know when to stop when you're feeling any of the negative symptoms from being out in the sun too long. It's just you want to educate yourself on when it's time to stop and what these symptoms are. So things that can affect you are like heat stroke, dehydration. If you don't get water, sometimes you feel lightheaded. Or you could literally just like pass out on like fall on the floor, and if you're in a trail, nobody will find you, so it's very dangerous. So you need to educate yourself and know when it's time to stop, because as runners, most of us run solo, so you want to make sure that you take care of yourself, that you make it to and back to your starting point when you're out running in the super hot sun. So just educate yourself a little bit on the symptoms and know when to stop when your body's not feeling so good. So tip number 7 is to pick smart routes that you're going to run, maybe beforehand or the same day before, just to make sure that your route contains areas where that you can get water in case it gets too hot. Or you can, like earlier, carry a handheld water bottle with you just to make sure. But if that isn't an option, you want to make sure that the routes you pick has some sort of a location where there's a park where you can get a drink of water, or even a bathroom where maybe there's a water fountain in there. So you want to plan your routes accordingly to make sure that along the route you'll be able to get hydrated while you run, because it's super important. Because if you're running on a route, maybe in the woods or a trail, and there's no water, you might not make it back, because the heat exhaustion and dehydration can definitely affect you, and it's very dangerous. So you want to always make sure you're safe. You can even plan a loop, so you put your water bottle maybe in your car or something, and then you make sure you're always passing your car maybe every 5K or something, to make sure you have that source of water that you need, especially when it's super hot outside. So tip number 8 is have alternate options if running outside is just too much for you. You can cross train inside if you're at a gym, or you can do biking, or even yoga inside the house, just something different where you're not out on the heat. If heat is just not for you, you could cross train, do something else, go for a swim outside even, or inside. If you have an indoor treadmill, that would be great. Those are definitely the days that you want to take advantage of having the luxury of an indoor treadmill. So there's alternate options that you can do if the heat is just too much for you. So always think of cross training. There's just so many other sports that you can do that isn't as tiring as running outside full blown in the heat. So have alternate options in mind if running in the heat is something that you don't want to do. And lastly, tip number 9 is, if all else fails, just chalk it up as a rest day. So for runners, we never want to take a rest day. I feel like if we ever not run in a day we feel like we're losing out on so much, or our training is going to go down the hill. So if all else fails and it's like 100 degrees outside, and it's still that kind of temperature where you just stand outside and you start sweating, just chalk it up as a rest day. If you're running every other day already, one rest day is not going to kill you. It's not going to negatively affect your training. So if all else fails, just stay home, relax, kick back, watch some TV, drink some cold water, or like one of the other tips, go do some cross train, go swim outside or in the pool, or enjoy the beach. You don't have to be out there running when it's super hot. So if all else fails, take a rest day, enjoy your day, enjoy the sun, and you'll feel better tomorrow. So thank you guys for watching this video. I know a lot of these tips are self-explanatory, so I hope maybe this helps some new runners that are looking into running around this time of the year when it's really hot, and hopefully they can take away some tips on how to make sure they treat their body right while running in the heat. So if you guys again are new, please hit that like and subscribe button, as well as the bell for notifications. I hope you guys stay safe out there in the heat, run safely, have fun, and I'll see you guys on the next run.